Varaždin is the city of baroque, young people, music, flowers, and bicycles. Little Vienna, with rich natural legacy interwoven in parks, a must-see destination, located in the north of Croatia on the southern bank of river Drava. It is also called the City of Angels. Varaždin was mentioned the first time in 1181 under the name Garestin by King Bela III, and in the year 1209 the Hungarian King Andrew II declares Varaždin a free royal borough. The town starts to develop around the old fortress in a shape of a medieval Wasserburg, which helps in Turkish raids. Important owners of the fortress were Counts of Celje, Beatrice Frankopan, Margrave George of Brandenburg, and Baron Ivan Ungnad and Count Thomas Erdődy. In 1756, Varaždin, the official residence of Ban Francis Nadasdy, becomes the capital of all Croatia. Maria Theresa founded the Royal Croatian Council, and it hosts the Croatian Parliament. It becomes the Croatian administrative center and the seat of many Croatian noblemen. On 25th April 1776, the Big Fire destroyed almost 80% of all buildings and houses in Varaždin, so the administration moves back to Zagreb. The story behind the fire is about a boy whose tobacco burned the hay, and the fire soon spread outside the city walls. The fire harried for 3 days and demolished the town. It is rebuilt and expanded by the 19th century. Due to the Compromise of 1867, the town was ruled by the Kingdom of Hungary. The manufacture of silk and bricks thrives. Theater and music school were built, crafts and trade are developing. Its architectural heritage dated from the few wondrous years from 1756 to 1776, when Varaždin as a capital city attracted the region's best architects and designers. Notice especially the Patačić Palace and the Patačić Putar Palace in the town center, which dates from this period, and the striking town hall.
The soiled storehouses consist of 6 historic brick buildings which were built between 1579 and 1745. They stored salt from Lüneburg, which was rare in this region but needed for preservation of food. This leads to power of Lübeck and the Hanseatic League, which is a group of merchants who traded together and had certain privileges abroad. Later they stored cloth, grain and wood too. The Holstentor is the landmark of Lübeck, which was built in 1478, and since 1915 it's a museum. The Holstentor is, with the Burgtor, the only city gate which is still there. In the 20th century it was popular with artists and photographers. The Lübeck Cathedral in 1173, it's a brick-built Lutheran cathedral. It was partly destroyed in 1942 because of World War II, but it was reconstructed. It was built in 1308 and it's one of the most known buildings of brick Gothic, and it's also one of the biggest medieval town halls in Germany. St. Mary's Church was built between 1250 and 1350, and it's a symbol of power and prosperity. It's also part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site. The brick Gothic building was finished in 1286, and it's one of the oldest social facilities in the world. The Löwen Apotheke is a pharmacy which was founded in 1812, and it's a partly Romanesque building construction. The Buddenbrook House was built in Rococo, and the author Thomas Mann published a book called Buddenbrooks in 1991, which took place in this house. The Schiffergesellschaft is a mariners association and a historical building, and today it's a restaurant. The corridors of Lübeck are remains of the medieval city building.
Urban art and architecture. The city of Castelló currently has about 200 works of art on the street that make it an open-air museum of great cultural heritage. You can enjoy a wide catalogue of sculptures of varied themes: manners, modern, and endless historical works. The open-air museum began in the 80s. The facades of the buildings come to life with painting and become infinitive canvases on the skyline of Castelló de la Plana. Ceramics, one of the economic engines of our province, is also reflected in the great diversity of use of this material. Banks, murals, and facades are a clear example of this. As for architecture, it shall be noted that Gothic is the predominant style in Castelló, specifically the Mediterranean Gothic, whose splendor was developed during the 14th century and the first half of the 15th century. The town hall, the foundry, or the cathedral are framed within this style. The innovation and the projection of a new architectural concept leave in our city neoclassical and modernist style constructions such as the main theater, the old casino, or the post office building. Currently, we can refer to Castelló as a growing city with a growing industry, commerce, and tourism. Constructions such as the Museum of Fine Arts, the Auditorium, or the University are the best representation of the architecture of the 21st century. The parks are the natural heart of Castelló. Natural areas where you can enjoy almost 300 days of sunshine a year and where you can discover more than 10,000 trees and shrubs of 255 different species that make up the extraordinary and interesting botanical catalogue of the city of Castelló. Parks such as the modernist-style Ribalta Park are a Falafena. In the suburbs, mainly residential, cultural, and sports facilities have been created. Finally, next to the sea is the Grau district, where life related to all marine activities and our magnificent beaches is concentrated.